Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Bets NCAAF College Football Bowl Special, part the dose. I am, of course, the perfect one, AJ, and with me, as always, is my co-host, the man with all the numbers, the man who is claimed. Now, I'm not saying it's true, but I'm just saying I've heard stories that he's been kicked out of every book in Nantucket. So this man may know what he's doing here. And he's going to be driving the ship today because this is his bread and butter next to, of course, college basketball. Noah, it's bowl season. Welcome back to the show. I don't know what I would do without you. You're the most consistent co-host I have on the show, and I appreciate you
I'm also
doing
the
that.
I'm also the least consistent co-host you have.
That is true. You are both the best and worst co-host when it comes to attendance. That's amazing.
Yeah, funny how that works.
I mean, it helps that it's only two of us, I guess. Well, we might be. Should we announce what we discussed yesterday?
Yeah,
Nah.
not yet. Let the
Okay, cool.
suspicion, or it's not suspicion. Let the suspense
The
build
suspense
up a little
build.
bit.
Well, just so everyone knows, if you're listening, we're up to something. It's not that big, but it is
We're
something.
always up to something, man.
Always up, dude. I'm gonna be up after. We record these shows sometimes late at night, and so after this, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna be up to sniping out probably some good lines for Christmas Day because there's nothing to bet on tomorrow, and that makes me sad.
Nope. Yeah, our one sporting event, the whatever the fuck bowl game it was between Memphis and Hawaii, got
Canceled.
canceled. I'm assuming because of COVID. That would be my
Has
guess.
to be.
Um, but unfortunately, we do have to take a day off, but we have plenty of other bowl games and other sporting action coming
Oh, we
Christmas
do.
Day and much more after. So
Yes, sir.
we will, you know, maybe a day off is a good thing. I don't know. I'm a little annoyed because I did about a week ago or so, maybe 4 or 5 days ago. I did take a day off of betting. I just felt like I had two really bad days in a row and felt like I just needed a reset day. I don't know if
Yeah.
you ever do that, AJ,
Oh yeah.
but um, I felt like I needed a reset day personally. So took a day off and I have been hot, hot, hot since. So
Been seeing the board clear. Sometimes some time away can do that for you, but it's the holidays. It's bowl season. We're not taking any time off for the foreseeable future. So Noah, you want to get into what these people came to see, and that is us pick every single bowl game. Part two from after Christmas Day to the first.
let's get into it. I
Woo!
mean, might as well just dive right in.
What do we got first?
We got a an early bowl game on the 27th because in part one, I believe we ended on the Tax Act Camellia Bowl
Yes.
between Georgia State and Ball State. So we've covered that one already on Christmas Day. No bowl games on the 26th, but we will dive right into Western Michigan and Nevada in the Quick Lane Bowl.
Whew. These names keep
That
getting better and better. This sounds like a reputable bowl.
oh you just wait. There's a couple real fun ones coming up.
Oh
Um,
fuck.
but yeah, this one being played at 11 a.m. Eastern time. That is 8
9 a.m.
a.m.
my
for
time.
8 a.m. for those of you on the West Coast, bright and
Good
early.
morning football.
Um, Western Michigan, a 7 point favorite in this one. Um, Over under at 56. Western Michigan finishing 7-5 this season, playing Nevada, who was 8-4.
Wouldn't
Any
you know
thoughts
it?
on any thoughts on this one, AJ? Anything
I know
jumping out to
there's
you?
been one thing I've been tracking with the bowl games this year because this is the first year I've really dived into the numbers and everything like that. I'm noticing that a lot of these public favorites are winning. And, with 59% of the bets and 78% of the money on Western Michigan, I did watch one Nevada game this season, and it was maybe the second most miserable experience of the season next to watching Michigan make it into the top four. Whatever. Anyway, with that being said, not knowing jack shit about this Western Michigan team, looking at these injuries, seeing they are completely healthy from what I can see, I'm going Nevada plus 6.5.
Interesting. You pulled a
Yeah.
full 180 right there. You're leading me
No,
in to
yeah.
believe you were taking Western, and then you're going with Nevada, huh?
Well, I got down to the stats and everything, and let me tell you, I know I'm against analytics and everything, but you look at these numbers. If I'm making this pick off of solely numbers alone, which I am, I like Nevada's offense a lot against this Western Michigan team, along with the fact that, yeah, Nevada plus 6.5. Western Michigan will win, but they won't win by a touchdown.
I'm gonna agree with you there. I have full faith in Nevada to cover a touchdown. I'm gonna take that, and you already know what I'm doing
Give it to me
with
too.
this as well.
I'm with it.
It is a MAC game. Miami of Ohio
Mac
did
game
break
over.
this. They did break the streak today, not
They
hitting
did
the
today.
over. Being the first MAC team to actually win a bowl game, they're up
Hold on.
now
I
at a
do
one
want
and
to.
they're
I'm
at a
sorry.
one
I
and
do
four
want
record.
to. Go ahead. Sorry.
They're at a 1-4 record now. The MAC is, but they are still 4-1 on the overs. Man, let me tell you, this one was a shit one today with Miami of Ohio. I
So
think it
bad.
was over under was at 54 is what I got it at. There were 31 points at halftime. Only 7 points total scored in the second half. Very
Love when
disappointing. I
teams do
felt
that. You
very
really do.
very good at halftime. But yes, we are still riding it. I'm not discouraged at all. We're still taking the MAC overs.
Hell yeah.
I still think they're going to go 7-1, 8-1, whatever the hell it is. So
Go ahead and mark me
over
down for that over too, Noah.
over
I love
50,
the over.
over 56 easy for me.
Yeah,
What were you
that
going to say, AJ?
I was gonna say. I do know the reason why the over didn't hit. I got into work today at my bar about halftime. I saw the game was on. I All I could hear in the back of my head was Noah saying, "AJ, it's a Mac over. Don't overthink this." And so I didn't overthink it. I took a Mac over for the first time this bull season.
Oh,
So
you picked a bad one to start on.
I'm sorry. That one's on me, Degens. If you go ahead, drop your Venmo down below, I'll request you $5 to pay me for my bad bet. I'm sorry about that.
Perfect. You can pay AJ money
For
if
his
you
bad
want.
bet.
I wouldn't recommend it, but
I think
do whatever your heart
honestly, Noah,
desires.
I think, and this is gonna go behind the scenes a little bit, some business talk. I think we do reverse pick selling. Like we give guaranteed losers.
Um, yeah, I mean, if you want me to start giving out my NBA picks, those seem to always lose. I
Shit,
don't
I
think
can
I've
give out so many good NHL picks, bro.
I don't think I've hit an NBA pick since like 2019 or something like that. I don't know.
Bro, I hit one
I don't know.
parlay
I
like the
just I look at
beginning.
these I look at these NBA games and they seem so obvious, and then they just never hit. I
No.
don't understand the NBA. It's a weird random
Oh,
fucking garbage league.
well, I'm
So
sorry. I've hit like my last 5 NBA picks solely because I faded the Lakers. And the
that
Lakers were
seems to
favorited.
be that seems to be a good strategy this year.
Yeah. I told you at the beginning of the season when we did our NBA kickoff show, fade the Lakers. They're just a geriatric home at this point, bro. Like, shout
Yeah, I
out
mean they still like win more than
sometimes
they
if they want
lose,
to.
but I believe they're the worst team in the NBA
All right,
ATS, or at least they were. They might not be the worst anymore, but they're damn near the bottom in ATS. So
true. Anyway, no, I'm sorry I took us off track. We only got one game done. We got a shit ton to go. Let's keep going.
oh, that's fine. We'll get to them eventually. Um, what do we have next up? Also, our second game on the 27th. We don't have a nightcap because this game is an early afternoon one. So
Yep.
we got an early morning and early afternoon. This one's at 2:30 Eastern time. Um, what is that? 11:30 a.m. So you got if you're out on the West Coast, you got two bowl games kicking off before noon. How about that? What a
Dude,
way to
this is
start your
why
day.
West Coast is the
This
best
will
coast.
this one
And at
being
me, if
the
you're an East Coast person and you don't agree, at me. And then let me tell you how nice it is to wake up, roll out of bed at 9 o'clock for the first NFL game to kick off, and then be in bed at 10 o'clock after the Sunday night game. All right. So come at me, East Coast.
well, one could also argue, AJ, it's nice to if you're hungover from being out the night before
Yeah.
and you don't have to start watching football till 1 p.m. It allows you to sleep in much later. But that's the
Okay.
counter argument. We
True.
won't get too deep. We
However,
won't get too deep into
I
that.
just want to say my one counter argument to that. You could, if you go out Saturday night and you want to wake up and watch that NFL game at 9 o'clock, you could not be a pussy and just open a beer with the game. I'm just
You
throwing
could
that
do
out
that.
there. I'm
Yes, you
just
could do that.
just a thought.
Anyways, AJ, we have the Military Bowl to talk
Woo!
about, presented by Periton. I don't know what that company is, what they
Paraton.
do. I have
They
no
are
idea what they do,
a
but
they are a
oh, I don't care.
Oh, you don't?
I don't care. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
if you
What's the
want to
line at?
explain what they do, you can. But
No, I don't give a shit
we've
either,
got
really. What's the line at?
got Boston College and Eastern Carolina. Boston College 6-6 on the season. Eastern Carolina 7-5. Um, Boston College a 3-point favorite, over under at 52.5.
Okay, can you answer a question for me, Noah?
Yeah, I can definitely answer a question.
Okay. Um, so why is Boston College not only favorited by a touchdown, but also 58% of the bets and 62% of the money is on them? I'm sorry, 3-point favorite. Excuse me. Can you explain that to me?
Uh, yeah, it's
Because every
because
Boston
Boston.
College game I've watched has been an absolute shit show.
Yeah, well, for me, this comes down to conferences. I mean, you've got a 6-6 team in a power conference in Boston College. Um, Obviously not good. Good enough to make a bowl game, not very good. But ECU is only 7-5, and they play in a much. I mean, the ACC was super weak this year, but ECU
Yeah.
playing in a much weaker conference and still dropping 5 games. Um, I mean, to me, this one's very clear. I'm taking Boston College, not even thinking twice about it.
Oh,
But that's just
no.
conventional wisdom. The power conference team. Unless you get like a 10-win um, team from a non-power
Yeah, I can
conference
see that.
against a 6 or 7 win power conference team. Um, I almost every single time on a spread as low as 3 will be taking the power conference team, just because the recruits that Boston College has, the players, um, regardless of like coaching or how well they play as a team, they're just bigger and faster and more athletic all around. So I've got to ride with the 3. I'm not like not gonna put the house on it or anything like that.
No. You don't
But I
put the mortgage
I
on this one
do I do
responsibly.
like Boston College to win by at least a field goal. Um, uh, As far
Do
as
it.
the over
I'm gonna
under,
do it. Do it. I'm gonna do it.
I'm probably staying off of the over under because I mean ECU finished their season pretty strong, scoring a lot of points. Boston College finishing with a few very low scoring games. I'm staying off the over under, but I'm taking Boston College minus a
So
three.
I see where you're coming from. I really do, and I understand your logic. I do think it's sound, and that's not something we get on this show a lot. Is sound logic. So that's an improvement going ahead into the new year. Go us. I'm going to take that logic and I'm going to raise you nonsense because have you seen Eastern Carolina's logo?
Pirates, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking dope. And honest to God, I've been burned on Boston College so much this season that I think this is a spot where I get burned again if I bet on them. I'm going to take Eastern Carolina plus a 3 because of their logo, and Boston College hates me. And then I'm also going to take the over because one of the last 5 games for Eastern Carolina has gone over, and 2 of the last 5 of Boston College games have gone over. I love those stats. They're due for an over. Give me the over.
All right. I don't know that I fully agree with the logic there, but power to you. I
Well,
respect
no,
it.
there was no logic there. There was nonsense. I told you I was going to raise you from logic to nonsense. I took our show from probably a little bit reputable. You can actually listen to us to what the fuck are they talking about?
Well, this next one is one that you'll probably have a little bit more to say about because it's a
Oh,
team
please, we don't mind.
that, as a product of myself, you have started following them a little bit. We have the Guaranteed Rate Bowl between West Virginia and Minnesota. Um, I know I
Oh,
mentioned it on a previous episode, but the disrespect to Minnesota's football team to put them
disrespect.
to put them in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl and give Purdue, Wisconsin, and Penn State all better bowl games when Minnesota they didn't play Penn State, but Penn State was 7-5. Minnesota, Purdue, Wisconsin all 8-4, all had the same Big Ten record. Minnesota beat Wisconsin and Purdue, yet gets a worse bowl game. I know they lost to Bowling Green, so don't come at me in the comments saying, "Oh, they lost to fucking Bowling Green." Yeah,
It's
that
fucking
was a
Bowling
shit
Green. Who
game
gives a shit?
that they didn't show up to. Um, AJ, I thought this game was going to be one of the biggest spreads of bowl season. It's not. It opened at I think 3.5 or 3. It's now up to 5 in favor of Minnesota. Over under at 45, but Minnesota 8-4 in the Big Ten. West Virginia a 6-6 team out of the Big 12. Um, I don't think there's any argument that the Big Ten is a better conference and Minnesota has a better record. Um, Obviously, it's clear what I'm going with on this one, and I am
Before you
slamming
do,
Minnesota minus
before
5.
you say your pick, can I just give my thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I slipped out my pick, but go for it. I assume you're on the same page here, or are you not? Are you not?
So, my big thing about this game is that it's played in a baseball stadium.
In Phoenix,
That
though,
in Phoenix, yeah, but don't get me wrong.
so
Temperature, weather's not gonna.
weather's not going to be an
No,
issue.
absolutely. However, the grass that is used for baseball, the turf that is used for baseball, is much different than turf used for football. All
In
right,
what way?
in the way it's grown, the way it's taken care of,
No, no
the watering.
sorry. Like what is the difference and what is the impact that it causes? Is what I'm asking.
Well, I don't know, and that's what scares me. I don't know if this is going to cause anything. I don't know if we're going to have half of the end zone in the dirt and people will slip and fall. I don't know the configuration of this 100-yard field, 120-yard field, excuse me. And so that does scare me a little bit. With that being said, if there is a team that can overcome any adversary overcome any obstacle. It is the
Adversity.
man who is the best dressed coach in
He is.
college
He
sports.
is. He is the best damn dressed coach. And God, they shouted him out on what was it? Either Thursday night or Monday night pregame or
Yeah.
whatever, where they do all their segments, and when they were doing the "Come On, Man," because they were shitting on. I forget. I don't even remember what coach they were shitting on, but then I remember they cut to PJ Flex saying like, "Dress like this." Holy shit, man! The button down with the tie, with
Classic.
throwing the
God, with
quarter
the
zip
quarter
over
zip,
it.
bro. With the quarter zip, bro. He he's a legend. He's a legend. He's probably gonna move to big Power Five school after his contract's up. But Noah, I don't know
They well
about you.
no, because they just signed him to another. They just signed him to another 7 year extension.
Never mind then. Well, I
So
know I don't know
he's
about you,
under
but
contract until 2028 now, which means he probably is going nowhere until 2024 at the earliest if he's going anywhere else. So
hey, that's not bad. And let me tell you, I just sent my oar out to get polished because Noah, we're gonna be rowing the boat 8:15 p.m. on ESPN
it's a late one. This is a
Tuesday,
late,
December the
late
28th.
one.
We're gonna be rowing that boat, Noah, and we're gonna be rowing that boat all the way to the cashier's window because I'm taking -4.5. And Noah, I'm going back to school because I'm taking a student loan out on this and putting it on to 4.5 responsibly.
I fully agree. I'm all over Minnesota on this one. I think staying off the over under on this one as well.
Yeah, staying way off
Just
that. 45 is just seems a little trappy. West Virginia doesn't like to score. However, their defense can stop them every once in a while. And Minnesota's just got a solid defense, so I'm staying away from that.
Minnesota's defense is better than pretty much every defense they play in the Big 12. I think Minnesota will hold West Virginia to not very many points.
Yeah.
So maybe I should take the under, but I'm also a little bit scared about that. I don't know. Minnesota's going to do their thing. They're just going to run Rudolph. Got to throw in a
All the way.
little
All right, Noah.
holiday cheer in there. But yeah, Minnesota's identity, it's just running the ball and defense. That's all they're going to do. Probably going to be a boring game because what if I said all season Minnesota might be the most boring team in college football? But I still watch them because they are one of my teams, so I have to. And I still get excited about a super boring team, and you know what? They're going to cover, so it doesn't matter. Moving on
Yeah.
to the next one. Sorry, we're going a little backwards for these December 28 games, these Tuesday games, because obviously had to jump into
We
Minnesota
had to
before
talk
anything
about
else.
the most important game first.
But starting off the morning on the 28th, we have the Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl. Um,
Okay. Another terrible name. You love to fucking see it. Jesus Christ, dude. Can we buy a bowl? Because, I mean, honestly, I'll take out a
I
loan to buy a bowl and call it Degenerate Takes Bowl.
I mean,
Probably the best marketing we've ever done.
we got to be somewhat close to like the Ticket Smarter.
Right? Ticket Smarter, the
Um,
Texas
I've never heard
Arlington
of
National Bank
I've
Bowl.
I've never heard of Ticket Smarter personally, so I don't know.
Anyway,
Um,
what do we got in this next
but
game?
this one is between Houston and Auburn. Um, Houston ranked number 20 in the country at 11-2. Auburn at 6-6. Not a great season for Auburn. However, Auburn is a 2.5 point favorite. Over unders at 51.5.
I do
Um,
really feel bad for
Bo
Auburn though because you can't be a
Bo
good
Nix
football team when you only play good at home.
Bo Nix is in the transfer portal though, so he will not be a part of this game.
He's going to Oregon, isn't he?
Yes, I believe so.
Welcome to the Pac-12, bud. Maybe you can actually win an away game. That's terrible. 2.5 is
Yeah.
the spread, right?
Yes, 2.5. Auburn is the favorite. I'm a little perplexed by that. I do get that Auburn's got a lot of really good players at other positions. So I can kind of see that. And their quarterback play hasn't been anything special to begin with Bo Nix. Other than at home, he's looked really good. But neutral site and on the road, he's never looked very good. I
No.
don't know if that helps or hurts them not having Bo Nix. Clearly, they've had I don't know, a couple weeks now to prepare for this one, so
True.
we'll see. But don't forget, Houston is still a very good football team.
Very good football team. Beat
Um,
Oregon. No, that was Utah. My bad.
Houston, Houston did not know,
I said my bad.
but
All right.
yeah, I don't. I think
I
I think I think I'm on Houston money line on this one.
Dude, I was just about to say this is too easy of a pick. Auburn has not been playing good football whatsoever, and they're not going to play good football this one. They're going to need an offseason to really rebuild and everything. Give me Houston on the money line. I'm staying away from the total on this one. Not a fan of that number, 51.5.
Oh,
It
I
goes to
love it.
49. You like the over?
No, I like the under. I think Auburn's
Under.
defense. Houston's got a very explosive offense. Their defense has kind of been their downfall at times this year.
Oh,
But oddly enough, I think Auburn's offense is not going to do a whole lot, but I think their defense keeps this under the 51.5.
fair enough. I can see it, bro.
All right, AJ, we got three more games on the
Whoop,
28th.
whoop.
Next one up, we have the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl
Shout out.
being played in Dallas, Texas, between Air Force, who finished the season 9-3, and Louisville, who was 6-6 on the season. Um, Louisville, a 1.5 point favorite over under at 55. You got Malik Cunningham, obviously the biggest name in this game for Louisville, who was, I don't know if he was a front runner, but he was at least on the radar for the Heisman coming into the season. Louisville,
Yeah.
very disappointing season, going 6-6 in an ACC conference that was probably the weakest we've seen it in the last decade or so.
Yeah, most definitely. It was a rough season for them. 100%.
Obviously, know what you're getting with Air Force. All these service academies, pretty much all they're going to do is just run the ball and play tough defense on you the entire fucking game.
Yeah, no, 100%, dude. Not even. So,
I I don't know what are your thoughts on this one, AJ?
my thoughts on this is I think the public is is looking way too much into the 9-3 record with Air Force. Like, yes, they're 9-3. Yes, they were convincing wins. However, it's still Air Force. They're still, like you said, going to run the ball, and the under's going to hit. So my pick on this game is the under, but with 62% of the bets and the money on Air Force, you got to fade the public in this situation. Give me Louisville minus the one. And honest to God, I think Louisville's going to be the dog by the time this game kicks off. So I'll take Louisville money line when they become the dog. And under 55.5 points. That is way too high. Way too high for this game.
I have a different take on that, and
Oh,
that
what
is
the
that.
hell? Noah, you can't, dude. You got to be responsible. The people listen to this
No,
show and they think we know what we're talking about. So you can't be coming out here doing some
well, that's the
stupid shit
beauty.
like taking Air
That's
Force.
the, that's the beauty of it is we can disagree because I think Louisville, um, like I said, these service academies, you know exactly what they're going to do. They're just going to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. I don't think Louisville's got the defense equipped to stop it. The beauty of that running the ball thing, which is why like service academies and the unders hit so often, is because it just eats up so much damn clock when it's working
Yeah.
well. unless it's working too well. But I think Louisville's good enough to like make it so that Air Force actually has to drive instead of, when they play shit teams and they can just bust off like 60, 80-yard runs and shit. Then that benefits the over. Uh, I'm going to take under 55, but I'm going to take Air Force money line on this
All
one.
right. Like I
I
do not
I
hate your
just
pick. I really don't hate that pick. I don't see them winning. Don't see them doing it.
we will see. I have no faith in a Louisville team that went 6-6 in the ACC.
Ooh. Ooh, let's move on to the next game. I like this next game a lot.
The next game, are we talking about the AutoZone Liberty Bowl?
God damn it, dude. I swear to God.
The AutoZone Liberty Bowl between Mississippi State and Texas Tech. Mississippi State a 7-5 record in the SEC. Obviously, Texas Tech 6-6 in the Big 12. This one being played in Memphis, Tennessee. Mississippi State a 9.5 point favorite, over under at 58.5.
No,
AJ,
I
what are you
see.
thinking here? You
I
seem
see.
like you're excited about something. I see the dollar signs in your eyes, brother.
They're very real, bro. Because listen, you and I, like, I will say, since starting this show with you back in June or July or whenever we started it, I've started watching a lot more football, a lot more closely. I've always watched a lot of football, but I've started watching it a lot closer so I can actually sound somewhat intelligent when I speak into this microphone for 4 shows a week, I mean. And with that being said, I've watched a lot of Texas Tech football and I've watched a lot of Mississippi State football, Noah. And 9.5 points. Okay, I'll take that. And then you want into something else, Noah? We were correct at the beginning of the season saying Texas is back. We were just wrong about which Texas. This dude,
Oh no.
yeah,
Oh,
you're giving Mississippi
you're not.
State as a 9.5 point, bro. Texas Tech money line all day long. I can't.
You are
I'm.
not.
I saw I saw the game and I was like, okay, Texas Tech is going to be like a 3.5, 4 point favorite, but then I'm seeing him at 9 plus 9.5. I'm going to slam that, and then the money line. Thank you. I'm going to ask in advance on my paycheck for a year and go ahead and bet that on Texas Tech money line. Thoughts, Noah? Responsibly, of course. I'm responsibly going to get in advance of my paycheck and bet it on Texas Tech money line.
My
Responsibly.
thoughts are there's no fucking way in hell I am betting any money on a team whose fan base rushed the field after beating an unranked team on a
Don't
game-winning
get me
field
wrong.
goal.
Not a good look. Not a
That
good
being
look.
that being Texas Tech against Iowa State towards the end of the season. Um, you beat an unranked Iowa State team on a game-winning field goal, and you rushed the field. Holy
All
shit,
right.
that was just
All right. Get off their dick.
that was disgusting.
Get
No, I
off
think
their
it's
dick.
terrible. Um, I have a lot of faith in Mike Leach. I also, as you know, I take conferences into major consideration when I am picking bowl games. And this is SEC versus Big 12. And you're giving me an SEC team with a better record against it than their counterpart in the Big 12. Holy shit. I'm taking the nine. I'm laying the 9.5 on Mississippi State.
Wow. Not even an alternate spread for you? I would have thought you would have bought it down a little bit.
If it was at 10.5, I might, but I don't even care. I'm taking it at 9.5. Um, I love that. Um,
That total
give me
scares
under
me.
give me under 58.5 as well, because I think Mississippi State's going to hold Texas Tech to like under 20 points probably. So this one seems kind of easy to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Very easy for Texas money
Just
line.
we disagree in the way it's easy, I guess.
All right,
Anyways,
dude, we got to talk about this next game. We got to talk about
our
this game.
yes, our last game on Tuesday the 28th, we have
Yep.
UCLA and North
Oh yeah.
Carolina State in
Hmm.
the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl. That's a mouthful.
Like, you understand that this goes through many levels of approval. Like, it has to go to the marketing team, it has to go to the events team, it has to go to the head guy, it has to then go to the bowl committee, it then has to go to, and this is the shit they give us. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? How are these people getting paid more money than me? It's
I don't know. AJ,
unbelievable.
real quick, what would our bowl game be called? The Degenerate Takes what bowl?
Oh, the degenerate takes bet every damn game because you might as well. We live on a floating rock in the middle of the world, so please like, share, and subscribe, Bull.
That's too many words, but all right.
Well, obviously, that's the fucking only way to get a bowl name.
I
If
think
we had to go with an
my
easy name, I'd
vote
say the Degens Bowl.
no, my vote would be for the Degenerate Takes shit bowl.
And then it's just NAU versus whoever.
I want I want two 6-6 teams who were five and
who
six going into the last game of the season, so they had to
who
win.
also just fired their head coach and lost their starting quarterback.
Oh, I don't care about that. I want two non-power five schools that had to win their last game of the season to become bowl eligible, and it's the Degenerate Takes shit bowl, and it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be a whole thing. We'll play it somewhere nice and warm, you know,
Oh,
so
duh. We're
like
not going to play it somewhere
to encourage
fucking
the fans.
miserable.
Plenty of entertainment, all that. Anyways, that's my pitch for
I like
that.
it.
I don't know if we. I don't think we can call it the shit bowl because I don't
Why
think
not?
that would. I don't think
Oh,
that would go
FCC
over super
regulations,
well.
probably.
But
Call it the
anyways,
crap bowl.
in the
The shite bowl.
SDCCU in the
Spell
SDCCU
shit as
Holiday Bowl
CHITT, like Shit's Creek.
could
And then that's just. Because what are they going to say?
and
Well,
play
that's
it
actually a place.
and
So.
play it in Schitt's Creek. Do they have a football stadium there?
Oh,
I
no
don't know,
chance in hell. It's
but
also fictional,
I
but.
I am abbreviating this one because it's just too much of a mouthful.
Nope, I need it one more time.
The SDCCU HB. That's what we're
You're
calling it.
dick.
Um, North Carolina
It's.
State, who is ranked 18th right now. They are a
Yeah.
1.5 point favorite against UCLA over under at 59.5. This game obviously being played in San Diego, if you couldn't tell by the fucking name of the stupid bowl game.
No shit. Really? San Diego? Honestly, I thought it would have been played in, like, fucking Cali, like somewhere other SoCal. But regardless, no, I don't really want to waste a lot of time on this game. But all I do want to say is ADG, Arizona Department of Gaming, fuck you for not letting me take alternate spreads on college games. Because I would take NC State minus 10.5, minus 11.5, 12.5, 13.5.
That would
This
be
UCLA team
that
sucks.
would be that would be a juicy plus money bet. And AJ, I fully agree with you on it. Now I myself probably might be taking an alternate spread, but for the purposes of this show, I am just going to say this might be my lock,
Oh.
not of bowl season, but of this episode that we're filming right now. This might be my lock of that.
No, there's a
don't
lot of these.
I don't see how UCLA wins this game. You're giving me a 1.5 point spread. I am eating it up with NC State. It feels like every single year the Pac-12 in bowl games is like one and something or two and something. There's like one or two of them somehow win, but
Yeah.
Pac-12 has been terrible the last 3-4 years at least in bowl games. I don't think that changes this year, and I don't think UCLA is going to be the one team that is the outlier.
No, 100%. Give me NC State minus 1.5. And let me tell you, Noah, there's a lot of these betting shows out there that they talk about their lock of the year, lock of the game of the year, shit like that.
Lock of the decade.
Honest to God, this is my go buy a house so you can take out a second mortgage and bet it on this game of the year.
Oh yeah, I've got a good half the house on NC State. Might as well,
Honest to God. Honest to God. You
barring
know,
any big like COVID outbreak with them,
COVID,
obviously.
yeah.
But
Well, unless UCLA is just going to cancel the game outright because they've been doing that with basketball.
yeah, they're kind of pussies instead of agreeing to reschedule, especially against Washington. Conference matchup, and they're like, no, we'll just
Yeah,
take the
just going
forfeit
out and
win.
canceling it. Fucking pussies. Anyway, Noah, we're through the 28th, and let me tell you, I'm all out of whiskey. And so we got a lot more games to get through. I think this is a good time to go ahead and make a part two.
Yeah, well, I guess it'll technically be part three of our bowl
Three,
game
yes,
bonanza,
of our
of our
bulls.
bowl game bonanza, if you want to call it
Oh,
that.
bowl game
We will
bonanza.
probably end up with four parts, would be my guess on this one. There are just, I mean, you throw out, what is it, fucking like 51 bowl games. It's going to take a little bit
Yeah.
to cover all those.
And
So,
then let's be real, we're going to do a whole episode on just the big two games because we're going to have some shit to say about that stuff.
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, those two will be separate. We'll have a separate college football playoff episode in
Yeah.
here.
100%.
And
Well,
then probably another, like, maybe even a full, I don't know, 30-40 minute episode for just the national championship
oh,
after those
100%.
games. um
100%.
yeah, I feel like you guys deserve that for when we start getting to some of these major events that we have coming up, with, like, national championship, obviously. When the Super Bowl rolls
Oh, yeah.
around, I'm sure we'll have maybe a recorded episode and a live that we do for the Super Bowl.
Maybe
I
in
don't know.
the metaverse? If we can
I
figure out the
have no.
technology.
I still don't understand what that is, but you know me, AJ. You just send me the link and I pop on and we see what
That is
happens.
very
So,
true. For all you know, Noah, we are broadcasting on a like CIA like secret channel and we're getting government
oh,
subsidies and I'm just hiding the checks from you.
we could be on Pornhub for all I know.
Honestly, we
we're
might
on,
get more views.
we're just on Pornhub Live. I don't know. Just like, is
Two
that a
guys
thing?
get fucked by a whole football team and it's just us with our terrible losses. All right. Anyway, this shit's awful. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna refill our drinks, and we're going to dive deep into part three of the college football bowl games next time on Degenerate Takes. That's